Hello everybody and welcome back to Calmsden Farm. As I nearly tipped the tractor over going around that bend. We're just on our way over to the Cotswold Farmers Market with a trailer load of cheese. So we've currently got 29 pallets of cheese, which is 29,000 litres. I did mention we was going to hold on to this until we got the best price before I sold any more, but with the amount of pallets we've got and the amount of pallets we'll have by then, we just don't really have anywhere to store that amount of pallets at the moment. So I've loaded them all up and we'll get these sold. And that will give us a nice boost to our bank account to get us started for today. We can just make it up this hill. Come on, Massey, you can do it. Right, so the current price is 3,327 per 1,000 litres. So we're in for quite a big payday here, which will give us a nice big boost to our bank account. Oh, that is quite... Wow. I wasn't quite expecting that much. Well, of course, nearly 30,000 times 3. We're going to be close to yet. Nearly 100,000. I think we were, with the bonus, environmental bonus score, I think it was about 106,000. I think we was on 95 before we sold that. So that's the cheese all sold. I was going to say, that is a much welcome payday. Quite unexpected one as well. Alright, so we're just back at the farm. The milk I topped up on this, so we've just under 10,000 litres of milk in there. And I think we are again to the point now where the cows are producing more milk than that can process in a day. So and there's what, 7,812 litres left in the tanker from when I filled that dairy process up. Cows are doing fine as well. Now up to 112 in total. We've got our slurry's almost full again. So we are currently at 192,000 litres of slurry. So I think one thing I want to do today is we do need to get the lime spread on to the new field ahead of them putting the new crop in. So I'm also thinking is we've got these 2 contracts to complete, hopefully. Just take a look. Yeah, so field 17 is at 35,699, and then field 18 I borrowed the equipment for that one to use for both, so it's another 23,359. So we'll collect those. I think possibly the harvesting contracts, the issue I had was I was using the better contracts mod when the update went, and I don't know if that caused an issue with those contracts. And after the update, I'm not sure of that. I don't know if it was a case of having those contracts had been generated, then the game had updated and they needed to be refreshed for the update. I'm not 100% sure. But fertilizing, cultivating contracts and stuff like that seemed to be okay. It was just the harvesting one, so hopefully we won't have that issue going forward. But what we do need to do is, I just remember, just quickly check if we actually have any lime. I think we've got 1 pallet and 1 big bag, so 830 litres in lime and 25 in there. That's not going to get us very far at all. So we are going to need to get some more lime, and we're not really going to fit everything in that spreader. Our spreaders, it was a nice starting spreader, but it hasn't got a very big capacity for lime. So we're going to need to go and buy some lime. The trouble is, if we take the Fendt with the front loader so we can load the lime on, don't know if it'll pull that much lime back up the hill. Right, let's just drop this off. No, actually, I don't know how well the automated workers work on this map, but we'll give it a try. I don't think I've actually ever attempted to try see how well they actually work. So if I can send him down to the store, I'll grab the Fendt with the front loader, get the spreader on the back so we can fill the spreader up while we're down there as well, and then we can load up the other trailer with big bags to bring back up with the Massey. Alright, so the worker got down here, no problems, and our order of lime is there waiting for us to load up. So we'll do the spreader first. I did have 4,500 litres of lime in the spreader, which I've unloaded back at the farm just to give us more capacity to take more back with us. And hopefully with the 14 bags we've got here and the 4,500 litres we've got back at the farm, that should hopefully give us enough to get field 4 all done. I've just realised when I actually bought the lime, I bought them thinking there was 1,000 litre bags, not 2,000 litre bags. So I bought a little bit more than I thought we had got. For some reason, I completely forgot that they're 2,000 litre bags. I bought 6 bags for the spreader, thinking that was 6,000 litres. So we've got a few more bags left than I thought we would have, but not to worry, at least lime's pretty cheap compared to fertiliser. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get 2 bags without the weight on the rear. They are, say, 2,000 litre bags. They are quite heavy. We'll give it a go. We're definitely not going to do 4. I think, yeah, 2 is going to be a struggle. We may just be able to pick them up. Whether we'll get them on the trailer, I don't know. Nope, they're going to be too much. It looks like one bag at a time. We've also got a couple of IBCs and a bag of seed I've got left from doing some of the contract work I did. Filling up the sprayer and I think the seed was when we bought the new seed drill. That was the bag left, so I don't know if we'll fit all that on, but we'll give it a try. We'll get this back. We'll get the lime spread on field 4. I'll just hit that rock. And then we've got the new crop to put in. I'm not sure what crop we can do yet. We can't do wheat now because it's progressed into April, so it's a bit too late to do wheat, but we can still do barley, canola, and we can also now do oats, and I think that's pretty much all we can possibly do. Soybeans, I think, is another month or so away. Soybeans would technically be a good crop to do in terms of we wouldn't need to fertilise, but it has to save us a job of fertilising afterwards. And then that would also mean we wouldn't get the boost to the environmental score from the nitrogen application. So we've got the spreader on the back of the fence all filled up. Massey's back up the farm with all the rest of the bags of the lime and the 1 bag of seed that we had down at the store, and the 2 IBCs as well. So they're all back at the farm. So it looks like we're getting quite a few pallets now. Strawberries, lettuce and tomatoes. So one thing I really want to do, because I always tend to use those double gates around there, is one thing we'll look at doing is just putting a better slope down across here and a track in to this gate. Give us a little bit better access around that way then. That way we don't have to keep cutting through the sheep field. And I'm also considering, now we've got the money, we could possibly look at buying this area of land. I don't know what we'd do with it though, is the downside. It's like, we could plough it up and put a field in, but it wouldn't be a particularly big field. And it's a bit of an awkward thing of where it is, into like what would you really do with it. So I was considering possibly putting meadow grass in and then putting some beehives down and just having the honey spawn point, and then just having several beehives around with then just a painted meadow grass for the flowers in the middle, and then just have a track going across from that gate down to the lower gate. kind of an idea. I don't know how much that area of land is. I think we'll have to have a look at. So we'll do the headlands first. And then we'll finish off the rest of the field. Now I think we'll possibly look at putting canola in this field because I think it pays well. Obviously it's quite low yielding as well. It doesn't take much seed to plant. I'm kind of at the point where I think for next year, so once we've done this year's harvest, we'll look at selling the current combine we've got to then possibly upgrade it for the next year. I'm pretty sure how much money we've managed to get over the last few months that we'll be able to be in a position where we can afford to buy a bigger combine. So I'm thinking I don't really want to do a crop in here that requires like a corn header. So sunflowers or corn, because then we'd have to buy a header for a combine we're going to sell. Unless we lease the header, which we could do. But I think we're better off using what we've got. So doing a crop that we can harvest with the equipment we've got now. And then next time we can possibly look at doing an alternate crop. Once we've got a slightly larger combine. And also I did mention in the last one about buying field 10, which we could possibly actually do now without selling the Massey or selling the other 3 grass fields. So I definitely think that's a consideration. I don't know whether to still sell the 2 smaller of the grass fields and keep field 8. And then use that money to get upgrade our mower setup. So if we do field 10, we're not cutting the grass with a small 4-metre mower. Oh, it does look like we've got quite a bit of wool as well. It seems like the sheep are starting to produce a decent amount of wool. Right, we're almost out of lime, and we've pretty much probably nearly done half the field, so not too bad. Another 6,000 litres and I think we should be finished for the lime spreading. So we'll go and refill and we'll get this finished off. Then we'll get the New Holland down here with the seed drill, and we'll get the canola. Decided canola. Well, we've got this last little bit of lime to do. And that's this field all done, so our pH level's all set. So we'll go around and we'll get the canola drilled in, and then we can come over here with the sprayer or the fertiliser spreader. No, actually we'll leave it, won't we, because we've got the crop sprayer. So we can do that. I keep forgetting what we've got on this map. There's too many different maps going on to it in different save games. So yeah, we've got the crop sensor, so we'll wait till the first growth stage, first or second growth stage, and then we'll come round with the sprayer to get the nitrogen on. So that's that tiny little bit done. We'll just park this over here, and we'll swap over to the New Holland. And we just adjust the proceed so we can actually see it properly. I will put the tram lines in this again, same as last time. There is that new mod out now which allows you to put them in independently of seeding. It's like a cultivator that attaches to the back of the tractor but only cultivates behind the 2 rear wheels. I've tried it out on No Man's Land and it does work rather well, and it does put like slightly thinner tram lines in than the Proceed mod does. But there are some areas where it's a little bit too thin and the crop grows over. It's difficult to see where the actual lines are. So we'll get this switched to canola, which it already is, funnily enough. Right, so just check. So we've got linseed and barley grown in there. Barley we'll use for the chicken feed. I don't think we'll need to keep all of it because the chickens don't seem to be consuming a huge amount of barley. And then we've got the linseed in there. So looking at the size of this field, it probably isn't far off being the same size as half of that field. I think this time when I redid the save game, I think I went a little bit too far up with the divide. So I think this section's slightly bigger than it was last time, but that's not too far off each other. So yeah, I don't think this is far off what those two fields are. So we'll do canola in this one, going for a cash crop that we can then sell off over winter. If we set our enhanced vehicle control mod and set our lanes to use for when we're doing the tram lines. The one thing I would like to have a go at doing possibly in the future, as I've mentioned, I kind of don't know what to do for like kind of an end game for this map. I did have a suggestion, and apologies I can't remember who it was from. I'll comment on one of the previous videos about potentially continuing this map until Court Farms is released. That's the upcoming map by Oxygen David. Oxygen David did say that possibly wouldn't be released until the new year, so it's going to be a few months before that's out. So it's definitely a possibility doing that, because I'm only getting to, hopefully the plan is to try and get 3 episodes a week out, but at the moment I'm struggling to get 2 at times. So I think that possibly would take us up to when that's released, so that is potentially something we could jump onto. I still think we'll need some kind of like thing to work, a goal to work towards for then. So if you do have any suggestions on that, then let me know in the comments. I'd just like to say a big thank you as well to everyone that commented on the previous videos. Some really nice comments, and I really appreciate that, and it's good to see a few people are enjoying the series, because I'm really enjoying recording it. And I say for me, I'm not too fussed about views on this channel at the moment. It's more just for me to have a go at doing Let's Plays. The whole different pace of doing the videos than the time-lapse stuff, which I often tend to find myself rushing, because I constantly get that pressure feeling like I need to do everything as quick as possible. So this is, for me, is a lot more of a laid back and relaxed play style, which I enjoy, because that's what I really like about Farming Simulator, is that I find it quite relaxing to actually play. The headlands are all done, so the 3 passes around the headlands are all sorted. So what we'll do now is we'll do the same as last time. I'll work my way across the field doing the up and down. So I'll do this row without tram lines, then the next one with tram lines, and then 2 rows without, and then 1 with, and work our way across the field back down to that far edge. So I'm not sure how many rows we'll get. Probably 2 sets of tram lines, and then maybe a smaller set down in that far corner. So it might work out. So what I'll do again this time, I'll do the tram lines afterwards. So we'll skip 1 row and then do the next 2. So the inner bit of the field is all done, minus the bits with the tram lines. So we're going to work our way from this end and do this small section first. That way we can come round the field and then up this tram line, connect back up to this one, and then we'll work our way up and down across the field and then loop it back round so we drive straight back out the gate. So again with this, once you've got to the end of the row, you Control R to turn your tram lines off. No, sorry. Control R, keep your tram lines on, turn your drill off so it doesn't direct drill over the top of the existing tram lines. So this won't take out the existing tram lines, and then we can just join that back up, and then we'll lift up and follow this round. And again, this one might be a bit of a tight one to get into that row, so we may do. Oh, it should be okay. It's not, as I say, it's never going to be perfect doing it this way. Bring that, turn the drill back on. That's probably a little bit too sharp of a curve. May have been better to skip that row, come down the middle one, then turn left at this, go up that one, then turn left again, then down the far tram line. So kind of crisscrossing across the field. Now switch the drill off and bring that round. Difficult to see where the actual tram lines are there because there's so many tie markings. We'll bring that one round to this one. I say I do find this a little bit more awkward with this drill than when I was using the 9 metre on No Man's Land. I don't know if it's because it's, even though it's quite a narrow drill, it's quite long for where the tram lines come on right at the back. It does make it a little bit difficult to get some of these tight turns in. So again, we'll get to the end, turn the drill off, and try our best to connect this up best as we can, and then round into this one. Missed a tiny little bit there, but we can live with that. Now what we need to do at the end of this one, we'll turn right, and then we can loop all the way back around the field and then drive off straight through the gates. That kind of works out that way. So that'll be this field all done. So we'll leave it till at least the first or second growth stage, and then we can get the spraying done to get our nitrogen level set. If I lift that up, it should do. Now we can just drive around following the tram lines off the field and then head back up to the farmyard. What we'll do, we'll get both of these tractors and the equipment cleaned off because they are both filthy. Desperate need for a good clean. And we can get all this put away and then try and decide what I'm going to do next for today. I do want to try and have a look at doing that little path or that little track by the greenhouses just to improve the access there a little bit. That's looking a lot better, and we'll do the spreader as well. A New Holland doesn't look too bad. It actually looks quite a lot cleaner than this. But because we've just been driving over the field that's got the crop in now, so there's no lime, so it's worn all the lime off. Not sure quite how that works. Well, that's this one done, so we'll get all this put away. So everything is kind of looking a bit of a mess at the moment. We've got stuff parked here, there and everywhere, so we do really need to have a good tidy up. I need to try and work out how to stop the worker before he tries to follow me into the shed. Definitely need a bit of a tidy up. I'll do, there's 2 bags of lime at the back there. I'm just going to load in to get those out of the way. Get this dropped off. That's there. So we've got another pallet of cheese spawned already. There's another lime bag there where I unloaded before. The one thing I want to try and look at doing as well is giving us a bit more space, is getting rid of this junk around here, which I think we may need to own the other area of land to be able to do that. I know we can remove it, Junking Barns minus 300. Yeah, there's no option to remove it. I think we actually need to own that small area of land down here by the chickens. So we go farmland. It's not expensive to buy. Oh, a little bit more, but it gives us a little bit more space down here. I don't know what we'll use it for. As we've got the money, I've nearly bought field 26 then. We'll buy that, and I think that should now allow us to remove that junk. It hasn't removed the caravan. I thought it would remove all that as well. That's a little bit frustrating. So it has literally just removed the stack of bales. As that's what it's done at this end as well. Yeah, pretty much. There's a bit more space in there we could utilise in the future if need be. Maybe a storage pallet area. That gives us a little bit more space in there for storing some more bales and equipment. And yeah, I was hoping it'd get rid of this this caravan as well, but never mind. What probably could do coming in here and getting rid of this grass as well, and tidying the yard up a little bit. So I'm going to get all this tidied up and put away, and we'll have a look, see if there's anything else we can do today before we finish up. Right, everything's been sort of tidied up back at the yard. I just finished putting the last of the stuff away and cleaning stuff off, and I just thought I'd have a look through the used equipment, and an opportunity that seems a little bit too good to be true has presented itself. So we're just on our way down to the store. I've got the disc harrow with us that I'm going to sell because we don't really need it at the moment because we've got a direct drill, and we're not planning on doing any planting of crops yet because we don't have a planter or any means of harvesting any planted crops. So we're going to sell this. We get rid of the hoses. That's disconnected. So that's 17,843. So we'll sell that. And we'll go and take a look in the used equipment. So in the used equipment we've got, at first I saw this, I thought, oh, that's nice, but it's probably a little bit too big for what we need. 70,000, but they've got the 4D Modding's high spec. It's only at 13,000. It's a whopping 64% off. I didn't even know you could get stuff that high with a discount. And it also comes with the John Deere manure sensor already attached to it. So it comes with that on as an option. I personally, I think with the used equipment, you could go to a dealer and ask them to make changes to it, but I like to buy them just as they come rather than make changes. So it's 14,115 for that. It's 180 horsepower, so we can pull that easy with the New Holland. It's a 22,700 litre capacity, which is quite big. It doesn't look that big, but it's got a decent capacity on 11.5 metre working width, which isn't too bad either. So we'll buy that before it disappears. And also I was looking, there's a Deutz Series 8 TTV, 125,000 for 287 horsepower. Literally just after we buy the New Holland last time. And there's also a John Deere 5M series, which we don't really need. Grain cart, slightly bigger capacity. I think this one comes with the extensions already on. So 11,854 for that, 22,500 capacity, which is an increase on what we've got by 5,500 litres. So that wouldn't be too bad of an upgrade, to be fair. Let's just try and have a look. It would save us a few trips on selling crops. So our current trailer is the Dooley, which is currently worth 12,769. So actually we could sell that for more than we could buy that class one. One thing I also going to do is, yeah, we're going to lease. So yeah, I was trying to think of what we could do next, and then this opportunity kind of presented itself and kind of changed things. So we're going to release the soil sampler again. So miscellaneous, and we'll lease this. So that's the Scout. And then what we're also going to do is go in here, and we're going to buy field 10 while we've got the money. We'll soil sample it so we know what nitrogen levels, and then we can use our nice new high spec, or used high spec slurry spreader to try and see if we can get some slurry spread on that for the nitrogen. It's very, very nicely detailed model, again from 4D modding, does absolutely fantastic work. So yeah, that's the plan. It just shows how quickly things can change in farm sim when opportunities like that present themselves to you. So what I was going to do, we'll leave till next time. So we'll get all this connected up. I'll probably have to drop the front weight off and leave that down here. And then we'll take the Scout back with us so we can do the soil sampling. I don't know if we'll have enough slurry to do the whole field, but it gives us something to use the slurry for. As at the price of slurry selling it, I don't think it's worth bothering transporting it to a sell point to sell for how little you make from it. I don't know if there's any hoses on that to connect up. Oh. Right, so we'll head over to field 10. We'll start soil sampling and then getting some slurry spread. Right, soil sampling's all been done and the samples have been sent off. So they should be back now. So what we're going to do is get our first load of slurry to our new slurry tanker. And then we'll start getting some slurry down onto our new field. Don't know if we need to open this. There we go. So this does take 22,700 litres. So that should save us a few trips on some of the other smaller slurry tankers I was looking at over winter. Those possibilities ones we could actually get. And some of them were only like 8,000, 10,000 litre capacity. We were doing quite a few trips backwards and forwards. Get the gate closed. I can get the gate closed. There we go. So we'll head over there and then see. One thing I'll just check before we get there what the actual soil type is. Pretty sure it won't have any nitrogen on there. So it shows needs plowing. So we've got silty clay at the top, patch of loam through the middle, and then a bit of sandy loam and then loamy sand at the bottom. So nitrogen rate looks like it's pretty much 0, so should be good for applying some nitrogen for the first cut we do on there. Again, what I may do with that field 10 is, because we've still got the 3 grass fields down here as well, I'll possibly do one cut on the grass and then we'll plough it up. Just trying to think if we'll have to look at the calendar, see if that works in our favour. Soybeans we could do in May. That's the only crop we could do with our drill and harvest with the combine we've currently got. There's a possibility if we could. It's going to be quite a lot of work though to get all that grass cut, get it baled up, get all the bales moved, get it ploughed, limed, and then get soybeans all sown in that 1 month. Might be a little bit too much work to do. I was hoping then we could do that 1 month, like cut the grass, bale it, and then next month sow the soybeans, but going to be a little bit too late for that then. And there's no point in plowing up the grass then if it's not going to be harvestable crop until next year. So possibly leave it as a grass field for this year, and then next year look to plough it up and use it as an arable field. Right, we need to set the slurry tank pump to empty mode. There we go. Can we spread now? Turn on slurry tanker. Why is the slurry tanker not turning on? Have I forgot to connect something? Yeah, PTO. There we go. I'm pretty sure I connected the PTO. This is going to be quite difficult round here because I can't quite see where the edge of the field looks. So obviously the precision farming is kind of picking up the edge of the field and then not, so you get this weird thing where it shuts off the animation, but even though it's still applying. So we'll do our best to try and get round. Ideally I think for slurry spreading you'd do the headlands last, so you're not turning on the areas of the grass where you've literally just sprayed all slurry. So you do the middle of the field first and then do the headlands last. But we'll do it this way around for this time. I don't seem to be using that much. Remember, we're not going to have too many trips backwards and forwards doing this. We'll just stop that there and we'll just check we are. Yep, nitrogen showing as perfect, although it's only showing as 50 out of 65, so it's not 100% because obviously we're only doing a base level for nitrogen of 50 with a slurry spreader. But I think if as long as it shows perfect, then that should be enough for us for the grass for the first cut at least. So we won't worry about going over with additional fertilisers. Well, we've got this last couple of strips left to do down this side of the field, and that will be this all done. So we've got 3,000 litres left in here. I don't think we're going to have enough to finish this field off. This is our second full load from the cow slurry pit. So we've pretty much used what, 42,000 litres so far, so it'll be about 45,500, 46,000 litres. I don't know, actually we may just about have enough. It's going to be close. I may just have to come back and just finish off that tiny last little bit if there is any to do. So this tiny little strip to do, and then that will be this field all done. So we've still got 60,000 litres near enough left in the slurry pit. So we probably could have got away with doing up some of the other grass fields as well. What did I work out? The area of this field was the same as the other 3 grass fields, so potentially we could have done all 3 of those as well as this one with the slurry we had. But it looks like we're just going to be short a tiny little bit. Well, I'll get that finished off. We'll call it a day there. I'll just go and finish that off before we advance any further in time. Get that field all done. So next time we'll probably be looking at doing some more grass cutting. It's kind of, we're at that stage where it's grass cutting every so often because there's little else we can do. There is also something else I want to try and look at doing next time. As for planting that field, I think it's just going to be too much for me to try and get that recorded all in one video. And I don't really want to do 1 month over, like split over 2 days at the moment, because we don't have exactly a huge amount to do. So what I was planning on doing for the rest of this video we'll do to start with next time. And what I may do while we're doing that, we could get a worker to cut the grass on that field, so they can be cutting that while we're doing a few bits and pieces, and then we'll get that baled up. We'll mean doing more silage bales, but we did make quite a lot of money off them last time. I don't know what we'll use, because I did mention I wanted to try and upgrade our baler, but the one I want to get, I don't think I'm going to have a look around and see if I can find a bale wrapper that will wrap the bales for it. If not, we'll have a look at getting one of the other ones. Maybe get the slightly more expensive Pottinger one that does the large capacity wrap silage bales. So yeah, probably what we'll do next time. I really wanted to try and upgrade this mower though before then, and I don't think we're going to have enough money to do that. So we may have to just use this one for the first cut on field 10, and then hopefully when we come to do some more grass cutting, we'll have a little bit more money to upgrade our mower setup. So that'll be the plan for next time. So if you do have any questions, comments or suggestions, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you do ask any questions, I will try and reply to them as best as I can and when I can. So big thank you again to everyone that's watched this far. If you have and you enjoyed it, then please don't forget to hit that like button. I really do appreciate it, and it does help out. And again, if you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. I've got more Farm Simulator 22 Let's Play videos coming up on Calmsden Farm. And I'll see you all in the next one. Again, thank you for watching. Goodbye.